back at it again, and oh my goodness, we have the View once again, and you guys know how these typically go, right? Because they are an absolute mess on that show. I don't even know how that show is still even on the air. Like, I would love to sit down and speak to some of these folks that watch that show on a daily basis. Like, how in the world do you do this to yourself? What is going on with you? Who hurt you? You know what I mean? But anyway, before we get into this video here, make sure you guys hit that like button, all right? And if you are not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. Join the family, all right? And make sure you guys are following me on social media. All of those links are down below. Instagram, Twitter too. Now that Elon owns it, Twitter, Truth Social, my Discord server, it is all in the description box below. But with all of that being said, let's dive in.
Last night, John Fetterman and Dr. Oz took the stage in the race for the Pennsylvania seat that could tip the balance of power in the Senate. And Fetterman started by acknowledging his medical issues. Take a look.
I had a stroke. He's never let me forget that. And I might miss some words during this debate, mush two words together, but it knocked me down, but I'm going to keep coming back up.
As a physician, I've been in the room when there's some difficult conversations happening. I don't want the federal government involved with that at all. I want women, doctors, local political leaders, letting the democracy that's always allowed our nation to thrive to put the best ideas forward so states can decide for themselves.
You said, quote, I don't support fracking at all. So how do you square the two?
Oh, I do support fracking, and I support fracking, and I stand, and I do support fracking.
Donald Trump has supported you. He has endorsed you. Why won't you fully commit to supporting him in 2024?
Oh, I do. I would support Donald Trump if he decided to run for president.
Oh, of course. Ooh, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. You guys remember Lion King, where I think it was the hyenas who were in the cave and they were like Mufasa, and the other hyenas was like woo, and one was Mufasa, woo, Mufasa, woo. Like, saying the word Donald Trump is like that to leftists. Saying Donald Trump, all leftists are like woo. Donald Trump, ooh, Donald Trump, ooh, like they're like shaking in their boots. Just like, come on, man, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Goodness gracious. Anyway, let's continue.
So, how did it look to you all?
Well, that part where he says this should be a decision between a woman, her medical professional, and then local political officials is where he lost me, because I thought he was going in the right direction. And I think as a doctor, he knows how intimate and important those decisions are. So I find that answer particularly and that stance a bit intellectually dishonest. But it was the way he delivered it that got me. Like, he should know that's not going to end well when you start like that.
The Republican Party is running a bunch of ads about showing Fetterman stumbling on things because of the stroke. What kind of a doctor is behind?
I would like to see those ads.
Find that. Aren't you supposed to do no harm? It's so unempathetic to the guy, you know?
Hold on.
What, you're
what'd you
supposed
say?
to do no harm. It's so unempathetic.
Do no harm, huh? Funny you say that. Well, first off, Oz didn't technically do any harm to Fetterman. Like, what? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Are you kidding me? Like, let's get serious now. Let's get serious. But if we do want to talk about harm, we can talk about all of the doctors these past couple of years that were pushing, the thing, that I can't criticize, which is kind of weird, which kind of makes you want to raise your eyebrow, like, why can't I criticize it? Which I'm happy a lot of people are opening their eyes to. There's a reason why they don't want you to be able to criticize that openly. But yeah, all of those doctors that push that, and I want to say we checked out a video from JP Sears, where there were athletes, literally healthy, completely healthy athletes, just dropping and gone, put in the pine box, over with, just randomly. all of a sudden, spikes in those numbers, huh? Right after, all of these doctors were... But of course, doctors are supposed to do no harm. I would consider that actual harm. I mean, I don't know. I just found it funny she said that. Just found it a little crazy.
Pathetic to the guy, And I just want to say that Oz is very slick. He's a TV guy. Yeah. Remember that. There's another woman in Arizona, Carrie Lake, also a TV woman. Mm-hmm. So they're very slick,
Oh. She's just digging her own hole. Deeper and deeper. Oz is a TV guy. Carrie Lake, which she didn't even want to say the name. She knows the name. Carrie Lake, she's a TV woman. Well, aren't you a TV person too? So aren't you very slick? Oh, I forgot. Of course not. She's a Democrat. She's part of the left. She can't be slick. Of course not. She just dug her own hole and she doesn't even realize it. Like, come on.
And Fetterman's kind of like, with the stroke and without the stroke, he's not as slick. But he has ideas and he has governed. Yeah. Oz, and I know Oz. I mean, I've been to his house, and he has a part of him. I called him one time to help with the recommendation for a doctor. He was right there for me. Mm-hmm. He's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at this point. I don't know which one is the real Dr. Oz. But voting for the slick person on TV is like voting for me. Don't vote for me for politics.
And don't listen to you when it comes to politics either, okay? So yeah, you're right. Once again, she's digging a deeper and deeper hole and doesn't even realize it.
I know how to work on television. That doesn't mean that's the same thing. We had Donald Trump. Yeah. Now
Look, I know how to work on television. I know you do. I know you do. Your job is to lie to people on a daily basis.
Have Oz, and now we have this Carrie Lake. Don't be fooled by that.
It's really strange.
Don't be fooled by you and all of these folks on this show.
It's really strange to me that he chose to bully a stroke victim.
Yeah,
right. Like he obviously was bullying him, and I don't think the people.
Oh, okay. See, and this is why this show is very disingenuous. Keywords: bully. Well, first off, it's called a debate. He's not supposed to throw the guy softballs, okay? It's a debate. Whoever you put in front of me is who I will destroy, okay? If we debating, if we on a basketball court, if we on a football field, whatever we are doing, whoever you put in front of me to go against me, it is my duty to destroy them, okay? That's what we do. All my athletes, y'all know what I'm talking about. If I'm playing against you and you out, on the basketball court, if I see you got a bum ankle, guess what I'm going to make you do? I'm going to make you plant on that bum ankle. I'm going after you. It's nothing against you personally, but that's what we're here to do. You put Fetterman on the stage against Oz. It was his duty to expose Fetterman's policies and that he's not fit for the job. Do I feel bad for Fetterman? Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I stated the other day, my grandmother went through the same thing. As a matter of fact, hers was worse. She was the vegetable for the rest of her life after she had her stroke. So I know how serious these things are. I would say the left is selfish for even putting him up there still. They should have said, all right, you know what? Forget about it. Fetterman, you just go get your rest, recover, you could jump back in the race later on in your life, after you fully recover. But take your health serious and take care of that first before you worry about any of this. That should have been what they could have been coming out saying, but no. Push Fetterman out there. Push Fetterman out there. Oh, man. Anyway, back to the bullying comment, though. I find it funny that, they mentioned bullying when they were talking about Herschel Walker in not so good of a way. But don't listen to me. Listen to them tell it.
On the Fetterman conversation, what makes the Republicans think that Herschel Walker is coherent and he hasn't had a stroke?
That's a valid point.
So, what about bullying again? So it's okay to talk bad about Herschel Walker, who we checked out Herschel Walker the other day, right? In fairness to Fetterman, because we checked out the Fetterman-Oz debate, some of those highlights and things, and I knew the left was going to talk about Herschel, so I wanted to do my due diligence and check out Herschel. Does he stumble over some words sometimes? Absolutely. We can all admit that. We watched him the other day, right? But he even said himself when he was a kid, he had a speech impediment. His brain is there. He just stumbles over his words a little bit. But when it's Herschel, it's okay. When it's Fetterman, it's not okay. Interesting how that works. And I think that's another reason why a lot of people are leaving the left, because they see how hypocritical these guys and gals are. They see how big of hypocrites they are. It's okay when you do it with one person, as long as they're a part of the right, but it's not okay if they're a part of the left. You're black if you support Democrats, but you're not black if you support Republicans. Same thing with Hispanics. Oh yeah, you're part of the Latino community if you support Democrats, but you're not if you support Republicans. Like, who the F are you to tell any person that they aren't a part of a community because they don't support your terrible policies? But who am I? Let's continue.
Of Pennsylvania, or the people in general, liked that, because Fetterman raised $1 million after that debate. And I think it takes real courage to show that you've been knocked down. I think it takes real bravery to allow people to see your weakness, right? And we know.
Takes real bravery to allow people to see your weakness. So is it brave for Herschel to get up there knowing that he used to have a speech impediment? Is it brave? Guaranteed they would say no. Oh, of course not. It's not brave for Herschel to get up there. Oh, why not? He's a person of color too. He's not brave for getting up there and showing that he used to have a speech impediment and still struggles with it to a degree. Hypocrites. And then they wonder why they're losing in all these polls. Not only aren't they addressing the actual issues people care about and issues that are like last on people's list in the form of abortion, but they're hypocrites.
That Fetterman's cognitive abilities have not been compromised. It's about expression that has been compromised. Aphasia, exactly. And, this is a smart guy. He got a degree in public policy from Harvard, his master's degree. So this is not a stupid guy. No. This is a guy, as you mentioned, was governor of Pennsylvania, was mayor for many, lieutenant governor, was the mayor for many years, and as well, has just led his life in public service. So why would you vote for the whack doctor,
the quack? He's not really a quack.
And not vote. No. Well, I mean, I was on his show many times, but he really rode the line.
He did for money and power.
Yeah, he really did.
I watched the debate in full, and I had a different takeaway. So I've said this before on the show. I think some of our most consequential and important leaders in history have had disabilities. So as a society, that should not preclude somebody from holding elected office. What I had an issue with Fetterman is he did not seem to have a grasp on his policy positions. And what was hard for me was to differentiate, is that because of the stroke, or does he not have an explanation for doing a 180 on fracking, an issue that is extremely important in Pennsylvania, the second biggest energy producing state?
Whoever was coaching him knew that he couldn't stand up there and defend it. He has to support fracking, especially there. He has to. He has no choice. He says no, and it's guaranteed that he will lose without a shadow of a doubt. Too many people rely on that industry.
In the country. Joe Biden, who we all tease for having gaffes and not always saying things eloquently, I may disagree with his policies, but I've never doubted that he truly knows what he's talking about and he knows what his positions are. I didn't just personally walk away from that and think this guy is confident in his positions and ready to lead the state.
That might be because his position on fracking has twinkled a bit, which happens in that state. And when you live in that state, you know that that's something you're going to have to come to terms with because it's not going anywhere, So the hard thing for me is is to sort of listen to Dr. Oz, who I had a lot of respect for, you know, and if I had a heart problem, I might call him, but then again, maybe not. But, you know, Fetterman is very clear. He's about codifying Roe v. Wade. He supports raising the minimum wage, and he's supporting fracking, which, you know, doesn't really make everybody happy, but there are some things that he is very clear on. And you know, it is Pennsylvania, and I know that Dr. Oz doesn't know jack about Pennsylvania.
Carpetbagger. He's not even from there.
He lives in Jersey.
One thing I did think was a little bit dishonest, though, is Fetterman kept hitting him, saying he wants to cut Social Security and Medicare, and even PolitiFact, which is hardly a right-leaning organization, fact-checked and said he has not said that he's going to do that. So I do think there was a bit of dishonesty on both sides. Dr. Oz is very clearly moderating himself now that he's in a general election. He's trying to, you know, I did not like where he ran in the primary, kind of dabbling in the election denialism. Now he's becoming a bit more moderate, and it's...
Yeah, but Alyssa, he did say if Trump runs, he's going to vote for Trump.
That was the part that was most alarming.
He separated himself.
That was the most...
Oh. Yeah, I can't watch anymore. This is almost over anyway. Goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. He said he would support Trump. Well, last time I checked, I looked at some polls. And if the election for 2024 were to be today, you guys know who would more than likely win? It ain't Joe. You know, the guy who, whenever you say his name, everybody on the left is like, ooh. Yeah, he's up in the polls. Oh, man. Listen. See, I would love to go on The View, because I would go in there absolutely prepared. Absolutely prepared. I'm bringing the statistical numbers on Joe v. Trump, the predictions on that, the clips of them making fun of Herschel versus praising, you know, Fetterman. Bro, I'm coming with clips of all of these videos that they put out saying this BS. Absolute BS, right? And they will be exposed out, you know, right in front of their television audience. Listen, I will literally play the video loud enough so that their mics pick up the audio and everything. I'm like, yeah, y'all get exposed. But of course, they probably never put me on the show. They would hate me. Everything you say, nope. Look, hold on. I got the thing for that right there. Yep, there it go. Click, play. See? They would absolutely hate me. But they probably have some type of policy where you can't bring your phone out onto the set or something, which would stumble me a little bit. I might have to hide my phone in my pocket and bring it out mid-show. Does The View air live on TV? Let me know. Because if it's live, oh yeah, it's on and popping, baby. It's on and popping. It is on and popping like grease. Whoo. Anyway, yeah. Absolute hypocrites. Don't focus on the actual topics that people care about. You can criticize Herschel, but you can't criticize Fetterman. Come on. Like, let's be serious. Let's be serious. You're running for office. You're not above criticism. I understand you went through something traumatic and terrible. Who's to say that Herschel Walker didn't go through something traumatic and terrible? I mean, the man played football for, I think he said 15 years of his life. Professional football for 15 years. That doesn't include the time as a kid playing football. Those are a lot of car accidents. That's literally what they are. I mean, you're running head up against another grown man. Especially at the position that he played. So, it's okay over here, but it's not. Anyway. Y'all let me know what you thought about this crazy one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.